everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks. For all of you joining us for the first time, quick explanation here. Mul-Tea-Hull Talks is a series of meetings online that we have with members of the Sunreef Yachts family, employees, but not exclusively employees. Also, we got the chance in previous editions of the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, we had the chance to talk to a captain on board of 80 Sunreef Power, some Sunreef owners, the owner of the Sunreef 15 Paz, the owner of the Sunreef 102 Fire. So basically, yes, broadly speaking, members of the Sunreef Yachts family, but today's focus is on yacht interior design. That's why we're joined by interior designer Sara today. Hello, Sara.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
So Sara, thank you so much for accepting our invitation for tea and talks. You know that this cup of tea doesn't come for free. You have to tell us loads of interesting stuff.
I'll be happy to.
About your work here with Sunreef, about yacht interior design, and about this specific 80 Sunreef Power. But before we dig into detail and talk about this specific boat, please first tell me about the various stages of yacht interior design. Where would you say your work actually starts?
Oh, it starts quite quickly because right after the contract is signed. So what we try to do is to organize a meeting with the client, which is actually stage one of the full design process. During that meeting, we brainstorm together with the client. It usually lasts for 2 days. So there's plenty of things to discuss, plenty of things to do, and tons of different samples to look for. So that's how usually the design meeting looks like.
Okay, and after those 2 days are gone, let's say the brainstorming is over, what happens next?
So we've got plenty of information, so what we need to do is to organize it somehow. So for the next weeks, we actually do the actual design. That's all the creativity happens, that's all the magic happens. So what we do is that we create a design package for the client. And what that includes is the report from the meeting with the list of everything that has been chosen. Also some mood boards, and of course, mostly important, the visuals. Okay,
and then you come up with this, or are they usually happy, or is there some feedback and some more changes done? How does that work?
Hopefully they're usually happy. Sometimes if there are some changes to be made, so we are always open to discuss and change the design a little bit. So then we do it again until it's accepted.
Okay, now owners, entire families sometimes get involved in the process. They like to get creative, and hence every single boat sale tells a different story. You may remember, for all of you who follow the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, some time ago we met Sheila, the flag captain of the 80 Sunreef Power out of Zone 80. We had a look at the interiors as well. Something completely different, and just how different this specific boat is. Did the owner have some specific requirements? What were the priorities here for this design? Because you were in charge of the interior design of this yacht.
Yes. Well, the main guidelines were simplicity yet elegance. Quite a dark color palette with some vivid blue accents, as you can see right in front. Also the symmetry, geometry, but also the privacy.
Okay, and for us to have a better understanding of all the decor choices, all the layout solutions here, of course it makes perfect sense for us to have a little tour. Do you mind if I ask you for a little walkthrough and a tour so that you can explain?
I'll be happy to do it.
Can you start by the main deck? Can you tell me about the main deck solution?
Yes, so the main deck is divided into different zones. We were now sitting at the lounge area, right here, and right opposite there is this dining area, which is quite impressive. A huge table that, I'm just counting quickly, 12 people easily can sit at.
I think even more, but that's quite an impressive table here. Okay.
Yes, with this beautiful quartz on the top and some stainless steel details, so that gives that extra pop of color and pop of design into the interior.
Okay, what happens towards the bow? We have like a bar module like it, right?
Yes, this is actually the first thing that you see when you enter. So we paid a lot of attention to make it especially interesting and actually apply that symmetry right here. So we have got the individual wooden blocks, which are then right on the top, and some LED detail underneath, which which I guess makes that effect when you come into the main deck.
Okay, you want to take me maybe further to the bow? I see a little lounge area.
Yes, there is a little extra sofa for the ones who wish to sit down, relax, and just enjoy the perfect view.
All right, and I can see this looks a little bit like a galley, but it's not. You know, obviously it's not the main galley.
No, it's
right?
not the main galley. The main galley is one of the halls downstairs. But there is just this extra space and an extra refrigerator, extra wine cooler, just to keep everything handy. You know, you're sitting in the lounge area, just grab a drink, and you don't have to go downstairs.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier on the color scheme here for this boat.
Yes.
It kind of relies on dark gray and blue colors. Do we have the same color scheme inside the cabins?
Yes, actually, we tried to apply all this like similar designs throughout the boat, but there are also some differences downstairs, and I'll be happy to show it to you.
Okay, yes. Wow, I would love to have a look. Okay, let's go. So we're inside the master suite.
Yes, this is the master suite, and as you can see, it's very simple. The color palette is repeated from the main deck, but it's not as busy. There are not so many colors, so there are just rain tones and some blue accents here and there.
Okay, so it's not at all bright or vivid or anything like that. It makes sense. It's kind of like a
Yes.
cocoon to relax. It makes sense to keep those shades kind of dark.
Yes, it's especially important, you know, after the whole day in the sun, you just wish to go somewhere and have a rest without too many bright colors.
Okay, go somewhere dark and just, you know, have a little nap. Okay,
Yes.
why not? Right. And the same design scheme, the same color scheme is repeated in one of the VIPs.
Yes,
All
which
right.
is just right there.
Do you want to have a look?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what can you tell me about the layout? How many guests on board?
So this is actually one of the two guest cabins, so there is one more on the other side, so that is total 6 guests on the board. As you can see, the design is repeated, it's the same as we had in the master suite, and we repeated that also in the
Okay,
two
so
cabins. Yeah.
Basically, the same cabin. You have this reflected in the
Yes.
in the other
Yes.
hall. Okay. And earlier on, you mentioned how privacy was also the you know, one of the key key elements of the design. So when you said that, I think you meant like a division between the crew areas.
Yeah, the crew area and the area that the owners are using.
Mhm.
So if I could invite you to the cockpit and show you
Okay.
you the
Let's
crew
have a look
cabin.
at that. So the access is through the aft cockpit, right?
Yes, so we have got 2 crew cabins. Access from the aft cockpit.
Okay, so we're inside the Yacht Galley, so I guess there's some serious cooking action going on in here. Can you tell us about the use of space here?
Yes, the space was planned really wisely. We have plenty of storage around. So even right here, we've got quite a big storage.
So all of this concealed storage that goes actually
Yes,
really
like
deep.
this right here. It's also under the floor, so
So
pretty
below
much-
that's additional
yes, we
additional
use
storage.
every centimeter we could.
All right, good. Okay, and if we move on to this part here, is this that's something like a pantry rack, and we have some
Yes.
fridges, right?
Yes, there is actually behind that front there is a full-size fridge and a full-size freezer. so plenty of space to store some food.
Okay, great. And what can you tell us about the crew accommodation here on board?
It's actually behind this door,
Uh-huh.
so quite close to the kitchen. There are 2 bunk beds and quite a big size bathroom.
And then also access from the aft cockpit, the
Yes,
second crew.
there is the second crew bedroom.
Okay, great. Okay, we make our way back to the galley. And this would be, I think, the time for a refill because we
I would love to.
yes, it's a good thing that we're inside the galley. So yeah, Sarah, thanks so much for accepting our invitation here for this quick
Thank
little
you.
tour and for telling us about yacht design and what you do and how you customize those boats here with Sunreef Yachts. For all of you watching, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you very soon, I hope, in the next edition of the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks. For more tea, more guests, and more talks. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.